silver blue glow. 700 horses ready, let the whole street know. Long hood, fat tires, she sits like a throne. Big engine talking keen in a gravelly tone. 468 breathing through the night air. Fueling tinted queen with a devil may care stare. Slam to the ground, every line stretched tight. She turns empty walls into a full-blown fight. Celine, Celine, king-size dream machine. Broken pavement trembling when she hits the scene.
All right, tail lights came in a day early, and they turned out great. Smoke tail lights. It's fired up. See how they look. Oh yeah. We got one out right there. Got one bulb out. We're gonna have to pull it back down and check that. Well, wait, hold on. Let's make sure. Yeah. So yeah, we got one bulb I need to fix. It looked a little nasty in there, so might have to change the socket to get it fully functional. But let's check the brakes. Let's see. Grab my pedal pusher. Yep. We got brake lights. Check the reverse. And that same bulb that's a brake light is the one that's not showing up as a running light. So let's see. Brake up. Reverse. Yep. Both reverse lights working. The tag lights work. Look at that. I had to put this bulb in. It was out. This one's working. I think all these at the front are working. I've actually got some halogen bulbs. Probably going to swap those out. Those are just regular bulbs. I got some old halogen bulbs that I used to have in Perk that I think will work, so I'm going to try to swap them out. Anyway, tail lights are in. Really, really nice. All right. Let's jump back in. Put it back in park. Emergency brake off. The check engine light that was on is off. I think it's got an O2 sensor. I went ahead and bought a pair of O2 sensors to put in it anyway. Come on. There we go. So no big rush. Got to glue the new dash down. Might do that tomorrow. The new dash cover. It's getting a little late in the day today, so probably do that tomorrow and get that done, and then I think we'll be done with everything but the door. So anyway, turn that trip off. All right, everything's in. Tail lights are in. We're good to go. Love the smoked out tail lights. All right, one of the things I wanted to do is clean this up under here. I hit it with the pressure washer the other day and it was pretty caked on, so I think maybe a hose busted at some point, sprayed oil on it, and it's just slowly baked in. So we're going to pull the hood, black the bottom of this thing out. I think that's going to look really good. So I'm going to get this hood off, and when we come back, it's going to be murdered out. It's like Celine over there. Alright, this is the shape we're in at the moment. Hood's off. It's going to be painted. The bottom side's going to be painted. And that will be done here this afternoon. We'll get that back on. Headlights are about to be changed out. You can see how old and foggy they are. Probably clean them up, but they're cheap enough to where, you know, you just pop a new set of housings in there and they're usually good. Doors off. Got to repair the bottom here. That's cracked. So I'm waiting on a couple of pieces of steel I ordered to come in to strengthen this up, put it back together. Got to change the regulator out, the window regulator. It's really, really weak. The motor's weak. And didn't want to act like it wanted to go all the way up, so get that changed out. The passenger side wasn't as bad, which makes sense. You know, the driver's side is going to get the most use by going up and down. So just waiting on little pieces and parts to come in to finish up. Yeah, everything's kind of torn apart still. And once those are in, we'll get it all put back together. Headlights should be in this evening. I think they're out on the UPS truck. He usually doesn't get here this far out of town until late in the day. So got the hood out here in the sun. Scrubbed it really good on the bottom side. Now I'm just letting it sit out in the sun and soak. Get dry. I'm going to paint the bottom side of it. I might do it white. I might go back white. I don't know. I was going to do black, but I got some cans of white paint over there. I may just touch it up with white. I'm waiting on some glue to come in for the new dash pad. The old dash pad was completely just ripped. Not ripped, but cracked to the point where it came out in pieces. So they got these replacements that just kind of pop in here, but you have to glue them down. So I got to get that in there. Waiting on the tail lights to come in. And they'll be here, I think, tomorrow. We'll get those buttoned back up. Got to finish getting the glue residue off of the back glass here. And get everything put back together and we'll be wrapped up on this jewel. So that's where we're at. Let me get these headlights popped in once they get here and see how they look. That's going to really, really, really change things and make these things look really good, or make it look really good. Get the hood back on it. We'll be done with the front end. Tail lights, then the door. It might take a little bit longer. The door's going to be the big thing because this is fiberglass. This is a fiberglass metal shell. So the way I'm doing this is kind of little. I'm patching it basically with a piece of metal. So I'll show it to you. It's kind of hard to explain. Anyway, that's where we're at. So back at it. Alright, paint's not completely dry yet, but it's good enough. I'm not worried about it being perfect because it's under the hood, but turned out okay. We'll get it put on, and once it dries completely and cures all the way, hopefully it'll blend in a little bit. And it's not that it really matters. It's way better than what it looked like. So got that project wrapped up. Let's get the hood back on. Much, much, much better. Might have to do a few little touch-ups. I can see through that hole. Might have to just hit that just a little bit back there, but much, much, much sleeker and better. Happy with it. Did a so-so tape job. I wasn't too much worried about it being perfect. Still got the, you know, the brake there. If you get really, really close, you can see some white. Don't really care. I'm gonna have to hit it a few little places, like right here. You can see a little bit. I ran out 2 cans of spray, so I got 1/2 a can over there left. I may kind of touch that up, but happy with it. Waiting on UPS to bring the headlights in the front of the car, be done. Peace.
I've seen silver and blue. She fades into the night, but the echo stays alive.
Alright, back on this thing today. One of the biggest flaws in design of these cars, the 4th gen Camaros and Trans Ams, is that door is so long and so heavy. And it's a composite door. It's fiberglass, plastic, fiberglass fused with metal and joined together. And this right here, you see that crack in the fiberglass all the way around here. That's from years and years of that heavy door, you know, weighing and the weight of it, the hinge, which is mounted to the metal of the frame. It eventually cracks that. So the only way to, most people just get a new door if they can find a door that's not cracked. But I didn't want to go through all that trouble of trying to find another white door, and so I am going to fix that with some metal work. I built, changed a plate. This is a 16 gauge metal plate that I formed to fit, and it's going to go here. And it's going to strengthen this. I'm going to use some panel bond after I rough up the side of the door over here, fiberglass, kind of rough that up where it'll really bond to it, and then I'm going to bolt it in. Either bolts or rivets. I haven't made my mind up yet. Once I put it on, you know, put the panel bond on, I'm gonna have some holes set up. I may just pop rivets, about 6 or 8 rivets, 2 up here, 2 on the sides, 2 right here at this radius, and then 2 at the bottom. See where it wraps. And that should strengthen this to the point where it doesn't sag. It's not really gonna throw the door off. If it does, it's gonna be very, very slight. I know that a lot of people have to shim these up anyway, so I may have to throw a shim in the top or something to make up for it, but not too much worried about it. But yeah, that's my fix for that, rather than replace the door. Just going to get this thing molded. See a little gap there. I'll have to, you know, before I get ready to pop it in, it'll be worked on and massaged to fit perfectly. But that's kind of my fix for now. So I got to get some panel bond and rough up that fiberglass, and then we're going to bond that together, hit it with some white paint, see if that holds. I think it should hold. It should give it enough strength to keep that door from sagging. And then we'll have to change out the regulator, the whole regulator assembly. I'll wait till I get that back on the car to do that. So anyway, that's my fix for this little issue here. So let's get busy. Alright, so here's the final result of this panel that I made, with this brace to fix the cracked fiberglass door. Like I said, all this is fiberglass. It's got a bonded metal outside, but majority of this frame's fiberglass, and it was cracked right here where the hinge over the years, long heavy door, had cracked the fiberglass behind the where the hinge mounts. So what I did is I got some sheet metal. This is 18 gauge, I believe, sheet metal, and formed it to fit and cover as much as that as possible, and riveted it in on the bottom and the top. And of course, these are the bolts for the hinge. It will mount on, and that's what mounts it to the car, so that's going to give it some rigidity. Also, just a bit, you can see it. So that should strengthen this door to where it won't sag anymore. It's thin metal, you can see it's not real thick, so it'll strengthen it but not add too much to it. I'm going to clean this up, paint it, get the door hung. May end up having to put a little shim at the top to match it. Won't know until we get there, but turned out pretty good. Went and bought some epoxy yesterday, and I did use epoxy on the backside, so all the fiberglass, I roughed it up. You can probably see a little bit right there where I hit it with the wheel. Roughed it all up to where the epoxy could get into the fiberglass, and coated both sides, and then put the two together, pop the rivets in real quick, let it dry. It's been about 18 hours now by the time we hang the door, to be a full 24-hour cure. But I don't think it's going anywhere. I mean, that epoxy bonds the metal to the fiberglass, and of course it's riveted on. And once these bolts go on, it ain't going anywhere. I think it's going to be as strong or stronger than it was before, with very, very minimal change to the application. A lot of people, they just go get brand new doors or find a door that's not cracked. This door is long and it's heavy, so this happens quite a bit with these cars. So anyway, I'm going to hit this with a wire wheel and clean it up just a little bit, put some paint on it, and get this door hung later today. And I'll take a couple of pictures once I get it painted, dress it up a little bit, and try to get this door back on. And then we can move to the regulator, getting that regulator swapped out, which is probably not going to be a whole lot of fun. But so yeah, let me get this thing cleaned up and sprayed, and I'll take a couple pictures of how it looks once I'm done. Alright, she's painted up. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be in a spot you can't even see. You have to get in there and look right up in the hinge point of the door to even see this. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I just wanted a little bit of paint on it so it doesn't completely stand out. And yeah, it's ready to stab back on the car. So I'm actually waiting on a roller pin for the spring to come in to put the hinge back together. Once I have that, I'll be ready to get it all together. So I don't expect that in until mid-afternoon. So we'll have almost 24 hours of cure time on the epoxy, and we will be good to go. So turned out well. Maybe I need to patent this, build some of these and sell them. Alright, back at it. Alright, so the dash on this thing was so busted and cracked, and I mean it literally came out in pieces. Let's get a light here. So you can see I've had to pull it out in little bitty pieces. So I've got a new dash going in, or dash pad, I guess you would say, that goes in up here. It's not a whole lot. You can see right there, there's the plugs for the running lights. And what I had to do was take that piece and epoxy it in here to make it work and, you know, look as factory as it could. Luckily, I was able to get that off without messing it up. Just put the glue down. I'm going to let it get a little tacky, and then I'm going to stick this new top skin in and try to get it glued down. So that will be a very nice little addition to the cleanup of this thing, because it was pretty bad. So I'm gonna get that stuck in, and then I'll show you how it looks. How it looks when I'm done. Alright, the new dash pad's in. I did not glue it down because I may change the headliner in this thing, and if I glue it down, I don't know how easy it's going to be to get these A-arm covers off, these pillar arms. So I'm just going to leave it sitting there as of right now until I decide if I'm going to do a headliner. The headliner's not completely ratted out terrible, but it may need to be changed at some point. That can be down the road. So I'm going to wait before I glue it down. I mean, it's in, it ain't going nowhere. You know, unless maybe you're running down the highway at 100 miles an hour with the windows open. So for now, it's going to stay just like that. You can see where I had to do a little modification to get the indicator and the photo sensor open for the daytime running lights. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible either. So that's done. Still waiting on my pin kit to get in so I can do this door. The mail hasn't run yet, so once that's in, I can get the door put back on. I'd like to get this thing kind of pretty much wrapped up this weekend. So, but yeah, it turned out pretty good. I mean, that's I think $65 dash pad, a replacement dash pad. And what it normally, it just goes over the old one. It just kind of sits on top of it, and you kind of glue it down on top of the old one. But the one that was in it was so beat up and cracked and just terrible. I was like, I'm just going to pull all that out and put this new one in and make it look as good as I can. There is one little rip in the dash pad here. I'm not too much worried about it. 26-year-old car, 24-year-old car. It's going to have these kind of things. So got parts of wrap here outside. Turned out pretty good. I can live with it. Alright, so the door's back on. Everything lined up pretty good. I don't think I'm going to have to make any adjustments. And I can live with that. But, you know, before I fixed it, you would open the door, and right here it would drop down about a full inch. So the whole door would just fall down about an inch. Now, let's see. And I haven't put the spring on yet. Can't get no better than that. It didn't shut all the way, but I'm trying to. Closes perfect. Perfect. So good deal. That was the major issue with this car. I'm pushing too hard, but you can see I'm pushing and it's not giving it all. So my little patch, I'll get in here and see if we can see it. My little patch worked. I got to put the spring in for the door assist holder there. But the little patch down there at the bottom, little metal plate, It worked great. Couldn't be happy. Now it's time to get this regulator done. I may call it a day today and work on that next weekend. I'm just glad that that patch worked. See inside where those rivets right there and those rivets down at the bottom. Basically put just some strength into that fiberglass. So yeah, see, normally it would go right there and stop. At this point right here, about right here, it would be the back end of the door would be so far down that it would just catch right there and wouldn't go any further unless you picked the whole door up about an inch and then closed it. Now, like brand new. Awesome. Let's get this regulator changed out.
But the echo stays alive.